piece about this fall, finding a personality for a team. You lose all the captains and vocal leaders that we guys did from last year.
Yeah, that'll be a big point of emphasis this fall. Really, it's such a staging process anyway, with batting averages, ERAs, those type of things are kind of secondary to how guys go about their business and just how they take care of the small things. So it'll be big to see just kind of how the personality presents itself with so many new faces again and so many young guys that are trying to earn their keep a little bit.
Kyle was saying he could tell right away last fall that this team had what it took. Was that your experience too? Like, does this become evident quickly?
I think you see from a talent standpoint pretty quickly what you have. I mean, just the way guys take BP, how you handle the ball defensively, those type of things. You just see guys moving on the field to see if they belong. You have a bunch of guys that do that. You kind of get the feeling like, hey, we got a pretty good team.
So I know you've kind of only been able to do individual stuff with the new guys, but 18 of them.
Right.
How have they kind of integrated with the rest of the guys, and sort of maybe early impressions of kind of how they fit in?
Yeah, they seem to they work at a really high level. They're not timid by any stretch. It's quieter. It's just a little more quiet whenever you have a bunch of young guys. They're just trying to find their voice on the team. I think you'll start to see that come out as we have some on-field practices, success and failure, those type of things. So, but they've not been afraid to work. I mean, they're not timid by any stretch. It started in Summer Bridge with the guys that came in on campus and worked really hard. I know, you're getting up early, you're going to class, you're doing all those things. So they're a good group. They're going to work hard. They've already got good chemistry because a lot of them knew each other right away. But a good culture on your team. You're going to have the older guys just welcome them in right away, and I feel like that's happened.
With how far you guys got last year, do you kind of feel like that should be the kind of the bare minimum, the expectation from here on out? Or?
Yeah, I think, again, we talk about hosting regionals. I think that's definitely something that is going to be the goal of every team that we have, is to play well enough, to win enough games, to put yourself in position in the conference standings to do that. I think just getting to a regional is great. It's a huge accomplishment. Obviously, winning a championship is a huge accomplishment. We'll strive to do that and host regionals each and every year.
With just the sheer number of guys you're bringing in, what's the challenge in getting all those guys just kind of integrated into everything?
Yeah, you can't replace the at-bats that we lost, the innings that we lost, that's for sure. And the things that you can control, though, is just showing up every day. So, again, you hope that some of the guys, we do have 20 guys that were back, from last year's team. So we have enough guys that have been through the grease, so to speak, and, have won championship together. And so I think, having a good mix there, we'll have some guys that can kind of show them the way.
Where does the conversation start at outfield for you guys with all the experience in the last thing?
Yeah, the conversation starts when it's wide open. We got a lot of talented guys, some guys that redshirted last year that probably in a normal year you would have seen get at bats, that went off and had really good summers. You got some guys that maybe were injured last year that you didn't see. You got some really talented incoming players that we recruited to come make an impact right away. So you're gonna. Mojo Haggie's not back for his 10th year of eligibility this year, and Joe Acker and those guys. We're going to miss those guys, but we feel like we've got several candidates to replace. At least they're based from the baseball side of things. We're certainly not going to be able to replace their leadership right away.
You talk about the new guys and guys like Chase or Drew Crystal. Like, what's the realistic expectation for some of these freshmen coming in? Is it to play right away? Do you want to temper some of that stuff? How do you kind of approach this?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd ask any of those guys, their expectation is to make an impact. What that looks like remains to be seen. I mean, you can make an impact at 60 at-bats as a Tuesday guy and a guy that, is coming off the bench or just gets hot down the stretch. It's hard to put a number on number of innings or anything like that, but I think those guys, they came here with the expectation that they were going to have a chance to win the championship club. And I think that would be the expectation for the coaching staff and their teammates, is that let's not put a number on, they're going to hit 300 or have an ERA in 3, but they're going to have an impact in getting on the field this year.
What can you say about that group in general, maybe from what you've seen so far? What excites you about this incoming class?
Again, I just think that they're all like-minded. I mean, that's by design on the recruiting trail. I mean, the talent has to be first and foremost. Obviously, that's what gets your foot in the door. But we're trying to recruit guys that are like-minded, that are here to win championships and here to be great teammates, and just the work ethic piece of it that it takes. If winning was easy, everybody would do it. You just show up and put the uniform on. But there's a lot that goes into it. And I think these guys are all here not for individual accolades, but to help win championships.
What's it been like to come to the office every day and see Coach Childress? And what's the greatest thing he's going to provide your young men here?
It's been great. I mean, he's my mentor in the game, and just to see him every morning talking a little trash to me because he beat me to the office, or those type of things. What he'll bring to the players is just, again, that mentor mentality where he can just bring them along off the field. Put his arm around him when he needs to, kind of challenge him when he needs to. It's not a coaching position, so he won't be able to coach their swings or their delivery, but just getting kind of inside their head a little bit and what makes them tick. I think he's always been great at that anyway, as a coach, and to have all of his time spent on kind of the mental side of things, I think is going to be a huge part of our team.
So him working with the players is obviously limited, but do you want him to kind of challenge you as well and feed you ideas off the field?
Of course. I think, that's something that he can do too, is just, again, he's got this wealth of knowledge that we can all bounce ideas off of, and he can, throw his 2 cents in on what he sees. So that's something that, we didn't bring him in here just to, throw BP or, he's here to help us win, and that's what he's done since he's been here.
Cam said that he's got cleared this week. Is there anybody else that's out or not going to be available?
Yeah, I think we'll have a couple guys. I don't know that you'll see much of Chase Mason this fall. He'll be back probably at the end of the fall. He had a little bit of a setback this summer. A couple other guys are a little bit nicked up. KP, we're still bringing him along a little bit. Perry. Maybe a couple arms that we're not going to push, but that's probably about where we're at right now.
What's the value in having Kyle here and maybe closer to being ready to win where he was last year?
Yeah, I mean, again, you see what he provided us at the end of last year, and what he provided us the entire year, honestly, just being there, supporting his teammates. I think he's going to take on even more of a leadership role this year too. To have him back. A couple guys that I think had a chance to go play professional baseball, him being one of them, that decided, hey, I need to come back and we got unfinished business, or I need to fine tune something here or there, so I'm more ready to go. So having a guy like him back is going to be huge for us.
You got a schedule as far as scrimmages, so you might play in those or anything like that?
Yeah, we're still working through that. Look for something for that to come out here pretty soon.
How big is the candidate pool for starting pitching? Like, how many guys are you working through in that regard?
Well, I think you'll probably see us stretch out a fair number of guys. Some guys that were in the bullpen last year that, again, I think you could look at their junior college experience, or maybe experience at another Division I school in Ornelas or McLaughlin, all those guys. Plus the guys that we have back from last year's team. So, I think you're going to see us scrimmage 3 days a week this year, starting the first week of fall, which is different than where we were at last year as far as we got there before the season started. But I think we just have, probably more guys that are going to go 2, maybe 3 innings this fall. You may be looking at 7 or 8 of those guys.
We stretched out a lot last year because of the strange schedule too.
We did. That was more. We didn't quite get there until January. We weren't there in the fall, so we only scrimmaged 2 days a week for the first 3 weeks of fall this year.
You guys officially have Gunnar on team?
Yeah, Gunnar Hellstrom. Yep, he's a student assistant, so he's Coach Hellstrom now. So it's good to have him back. He's finishing his degree. Decided to forego that last year of eligibility. Wants to be a coach. He is, gone head first in, trying to just soak it all up and be a big part of the staff. And he'll be good, to have for our guys to have around.
He'll be here in the spring also?
He'll be here in the spring too. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.